I'm Dave Holdsworth. I am 54 years old. I am a Philadelphia boy, but I live in northern New Jersey right now. I'm going to try to tone this down during the game, but I played in a number of these games, two of them with Liza, the host of Surviving Maine. I help produce Survivor Brooklyn South, and I help out on a few other ones. Whenever I'm going to be playing a game, I prepare pretty heavily. I would imagine I prepare as hard, if not harder, than the people that are going on the real show. So I digest every episode of Surviving Maine, for example, try to recreate the challenges at home, prepare myself, try to figure out who's in the background that hasn't played before that might show up next year. You name it, I try to prepare for it. Yes. Got this?
Mm-hmm.
Now look at me.
Should I stop?
Good, that's good enough. Yeah. In the past, Liza in these games seems to tend to cast a few LRG players, but the majority of their cast is locals, just generally. I'm hoping that replicates this time because one thing I don't like about I love these live games. It's a bunch of survivor weirdos like me who I don't have it in my day-to-day life, and I don't talk about this stuff. But I like playing when there's not all the pre-game connections. It kind of just ruins the game, and if it's too much. My first game I ever played was in 2017 with Liza, the Durham Warrior Survivor Challenge, which is now just Survival Challenge. If you're going to do a live Survivor game, that's a good one. I came in second on that, lost by a vote. Yeah, I still have nightmares about it. But Liza voted for me, so Liza has my eternal gratitude and support. Survivor Brooklyn South, I came in third, just missed the finals. I lost the final immunity, didn't get taken. Philly, I came in seventh, and I just missed the merge in Angelica and Brooklyn South All Stars. So I tend to do pretty well. I've learned a lot about my game over the years. I try to not take it too seriously. So I'm a big believer. I think these games are half luck. So you could be voted out first, or you could win the game, but one lucky thing goes the other way and you could flip-flop it. And I try to not get too upset about how I do. But my goal is be proud of my game, set myself up to have a potential to possibly win, and make some new friends along the way. I think this community is a great community filled with just awesome people from different backgrounds that I probably would never have had a chance to talk to in my day-to-day life. So it checks a lot of boxes for me. So that's why I do these things. That's what I'm hoping to get. How much time do you have? Um, let's see. I fully expect to be the oldest player playing the game. In pretty much
How
every
old are
game,
you, Dave? How
I'm
old are you?
54.
Oh, you might be.
Yeah, most games I have been. I keep myself in pretty good shape because one of the reasons being I don't want to be, let's get rid of the old guy. I want to be, he's an asset to us in a variety of ways despite his age, so let's keep him around. But my strategy for the game is in these shorter games, not like the real show, you have to make immediate connections. So I'm a big, my favorite writer in Survivor says Survivor is all about empathy. So you have to be able to and willing to put yourself out there, make a genuine connection, not be fake with people very, very quickly. So my initial goal is to try to connect in some way with everyone. And within that, I like to find one person that's like your one person. You will go to ride or die or whatever you want to call it. It's your safe space within Survivor where you can actually talk real strategy and not be worried about getting stabbed in the back. Hopefully, you can find someone that legitimately will do that back to you. Um, so those are my starting goals. I'm a big believer that in these games, you can't win the game early, but you can lose the game early by, and it can be for pretty much anything, because if you are too anything out of the gate, too pushy, too quiet, too strategizing, too obnoxious, it any reason at all, people can find a reason to put your name down, and it's dangerous. So I tend to be a little bit under the radar early. I'm going to downplay the number of games I played because I've seen like what was the woman last season in this game got voted out early, and she said in her confessionals because it was because she was talking too much about all the games she had played and all the survivors she knew and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
I'm
Sam.
going to pretty much what was her? I forget her name.
Sam.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Sam
Yeah.
Sam Kugat, right?
Yeah.
Um, so try to be a little bit low key early, but I'm going to probably be a little bit more aggressive in strategizing with my tribe than I had previously. In the past, I've tended to shut up a little too much, even if the tribe strategizing for challenges is going off the rails. Like in All Stars, the biggest guy in our group said, "I'll be the guy that goes in this little thing to find something." It just didn't make sense, and no one spoke up because no one wanted to, and it killed us, and it kind of sent us down the wrong path. So I'm going to try to be gently the older guy, providing a little bit of leadership without being too obnoxious. It's a hard needle to thread, but and for this game, I'm not going to be afraid to put myself in the leadership role. I've been playing this game since March 12th when I got the email from Liza. I've been prepping. I'm not kidding, 2 to 3 hours every day, working out, puzzles, balancing. I made fire. I've made fire every day for the last 60 days. With Flint, I can make fire in about 45 seconds now. I'm not going to tell my tribe that though. I'm not going to volunteer to do fire at all until we hopefully get to Final Four, and I'm going to win that challenge and put myself in the fire making to knock out the biggest challenge. So yeah, so that's kind of my basic thing. Yeah, the other thing for these games is never be alone. If people are going to the bathroom, you're going to the bathroom. Maybe if you don't have to go. If people are going off, never sit by yourself, because if you're in a group, you'll be part of the group and you won't be the one that they target. That's worked for me in every other game I played, and hopefully it'll work here. A couple things. Being the oldest person is one. It's an easy target if they want to play that game. Two, have the initial tribe you're on just be all the same thing. Like if they're all young 20 somethings, it's going to be very hard to break into that if they have very, very similar backgrounds. And probably just the early on, the initial, you saw it in Big Brother, the game you played, the angst of meeting everyone and immediately having to strategize about who you got to vote out. I'm an introvert by nature, so it's part of the reason I do these games is to put myself out there, push myself in ways that I really don't have to day to day. So me being out there and pushing myself to have to be a little bit of an extrovert to keep myself in the game, that's fun for me. But that's a risk as well. If I'm not clicking with the people, it might not happen. So those are the things I'm afraid of. I'm a former military officer. I was a nuclear engineer in submarines before I got out and went into marketing. So that's cool for some people. I think it's kind of boring, but yeah, it's it. I'm married, two kids we adopted from Guatemala. We have two dogs. That's it. I love the live game community. And anyone's that's watching this afterwards, apply to a game. Put yourself out there. Try these things. You're probably nervous to do it, but I've found I applied 22 times to be on Survivor. I never got a single callback. Now, why would they not want to put a pasty white bald guy on TV? I don't understand. But once I found these live games in 2017, I stopped applying because this satisfied that itch for me. So anyone that's watching, I would encourage, if you've thought about it at all, apply to one of these games. You will be massively happy you did. Even if you're the first person out, you're going to find friends and a family and a tribe out there that has this weird connection that you probably didn't even know other people had. So anyway, I'll shut up. I talk a lot.